Hey, I'm continuing my unbagging. This is an unbagging week of Stuka Leader expansions. We are now up to expansion number 5, which is dealing with the Spanish Civil War. So this is pre-World War II. This is air missions or air control during the Spanish Civil War. This is going to bring new campaigns, new targets, new aircraft, new bandits, and new events, much like the rest of the expansions we have been covering. I'll put a link to my unboxing and overview of Stuka Leader, of which these are all expansions to and of. And also I'll put a list of the other expansions if you're interested in covering those or seeing what they're all about. This one is intriguing because it is dealing with the Spanish Civil War specifically. The other ones were dealing with aspects of World War II. The Eastern Front were the first 2 expansions. The Mediterranean were the next 2. And now we're going pre-World War II with the Spanish Civil War. Again, these are all expansions to Stuka Leader, which is designed by Chuck Seegert and published by DVG, which was kind enough to send me all this good stuff. So thank you. Let's get inside the bag and see what we have here. And the expansions to the Leader series, which I talked about quite a bit through these videos and in my my unboxing of the core game and then my bagging of the expansions. It is quite developed. There's a lot in the Leader series, and these I kind of classify as the Flight Leader series. There's some other in the Leader series that are a little bit different, but these flight games are all about flight control or flight command in a specific theater or over a certain historic period of time. So what you're going to get is cards, and these cards represent the several of these are going to represent the new planes that you're getting. You get counters for these planes. They'll get 3 cards for each of these planes because there are 6 stages from newbie up to legendary for the different pilots, because these cards not only represent the planes, they also represent the pilot. So that's the name of the pilot. This is the plane. This is the characteristics of the plane, but then you have the characteristics of the pilot, and they advance up as you advance up the pilot. So let's crack open these cards and see what we have inside. So they said we're going to get some new cards and planes, or some pilots and planes. And then let's get into, and that's what probably the bulk of these are going to be. So all these right here are quite a few. These are all the new pilots and planes that you get in this. So they go from newbie to skill to green to average to skilled to veteran to legendary right there. And so this is going to go up as that goes up. So quite a few new planes here. Looks like we've got some biplanes here. World War One vintage, because this is pre-World War II, so some of these were not transitioned over yet. Then we're getting in some prop planes. So there you have it. So that's your new planes for this. You get some new events, and the events cover the before you get to the target, over the target, then after you leave the target. So some stuff going on there, and kind of spice up the variety of the game. Then we're going to get some new targets here. So we have trenches, we have train station, and we have supply dump. And when you're talking about these targets, they're by number, and each of the different campaigns will tell you which of the targets you're going to pull out, put in a deck, and then when you draw targets, this is the what you're going to get. And this shows you what of these different bogeys or bandits or sites that you're going to encounter, over the target. There's going to be 2 you draw. Under the approach, there's going to be 1 site and 1 bogey. Shows you what your victory points are. Shows you how you manage the recon and intel track, and I'll show you that on a campaign card, plus any other special rules. So 3 new targets. Then we got the counters here, which again are dealing with the planes that you're flying, and then the planes you're encountering. or ground forces you're encountering, which will be on the back of some of those red ones there. As you can see here, some of the different things you might encounter. And, again, this is solitaire, so this is the red or the forces that are kind of controlled by the AI, which is really basically a sequence of play and procedure that you go through in the game. Counters are nice and thick. They don't really need to be clipped because they're somewhat pre-rounded, so they come out very cleanly. Let's look at the scenario. Oh, geez, see, they come out. As I said, putting it down, that one came out right there. These are the new campaigns. You get 2 new campaigns here. So you get the early days, which is 36 to 37. It shows you the kind of bandits that you can encounter there, the type of planes. There's no special weaponry. It shows you the available aircraft that you can get, how you get reinforcement, any special rules on dealing with the Spanish Civil War. Here's your recon and intel tracks that you'll keep track. These are one-sided because you'll keep this off to the side of the board as you're doing this campaign. You're going to decide what kind of campaign, whether it's short, medium, or long. And then based on the longer the campaign, the more missions you'll run, and then at the end of that, you'll figure out how you did based on how many victory points. You get victory points, for these targets and other things, and then how many victory points you collect will tell you how well you did. So you go from great, good, adequate, poor, down to dismal, if you can see that there. Again, special rules here, and then these are the targets. So if you're going to do this campaign, you're going to pull out all these cards out of the target deck. And then, like there's that 54, so that's the trenches here. And you'll put that in the target deck, so when you draw from when you're determining what your target is for a specific mission, you'll pull from that deck, and then it'll tell you where you're going. And then you'll set that up accordingly based on the target here. A new thing that I think is new, I don't think this was in Zero Leader, which was the leader series that immediately predated the Air Leader series, or what I call them, Flight Leader series, that predated this was Zero Leader, which they added in dogfighting, which is in this game as well. But I think they changed this up. So I think the green represents you're going to get more, you don't get stress or fuel or have to spend fuel. The reds, you get stress or have to spend fuel or both. I got to read up on the rules, so I think that's a little bit of a change. Stress is a big thing in the Leader series, especially the Flight Leader series, because your pilots get stressed. The more complicated the mission, the more bandits they engage, the dogfights, they can get extra stress during a mission, and if they get so much stress, then that's going to affect how they are responding in, this is the stress levels here. It changes their status. It might change their speed. It might change their air-to-air attack or their air-to-ground attack. So the more stress, they get shaken and it affects them negatively. So you got to kind of manage that stress. And so you might have to keep them you might have to ground them for a while and then put another pilot in their place to take over to do the missions in a campaign. That's part of what Leader Series is about, is managing all those different aspects. It's not just a air combat game or an air-to-air game. It is managing kind of a campaign. It's managing a series of missions over time. So you've got the early days from 36 to 37, and then you're going to have the end, which is 38 to 39. So, and again, you have all what bandits are available. It looks like there are some special weaponry. We're starting to get into pre-World War II, so we're getting some better planes probably and better weapons. Here's the available aircraft, all your different special rules, and then, whether you're going to pick a short, medium, or long campaign there. So there you have it. That is what you get in a bag of expansion number 5 to the Stuka Leader series. Quite some interesting stuff there. Again, I like the aspect that they're going outside of World War II. Now we're getting to the Spanish Civil War. I don't know there's not a lot of games on the Spanish Civil War. I mean, there's more now in the last 5 to 10 years than there were predating that, but I'm not aware of any that deal with the air war, or very few that deal with the air war. I believe that Wing Leader, GMT's Wing Leader, goes back to some of the Spanish Civil War, but that again, that's more. I mean, you are commanding or controlling squadrons and larger groups of aircraft, but you're doing kind of specific missions, not a series of missions like the Leader series is. So I have that as well. So I tend to play all these, and I might try to play those back to back and kind of do a little bit more of the deep dive into the different scale that we're dealing with on those games. But anyway, that's for another time. This is what I had for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by and following me. If you're interested in this, then hopefully this was helpful. If you've already playing Stuka Leader, then I'd love to know your comments on it, or on this game, or on any of the this expansion, or any of the other expansions, or any of the other Leader series, or DVG in general. It's all fair game. Just keep it civil. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching.